internet about Tylenol and pregnancy and autism. And so I want to go over a potential thought of why Tylenol could be a signal here of what's going on. And so, yes, I know I've got the great red light glasses on by True Dark, and I'm really happy because I'm using those and it's helping my sleep immensely. I'm also using them to reduce oxidative stress and like these nasty little blue lights that I have here over my head. I'm trying to reduce my exposure to blue light in the morning, early morning, and in the evening. And so that's working pretty well. So I want to go over this and I want to make sure that full disclosure here, I'm an independent, right? I'm not registered with either political party. Longevity, healthcare, and autism, politics should be thrown out the window and it drives me bananas, right? I'm a Penn State fan. Hi. And the problem even on Penn State now is we've got all sorts of crazy political arguments because we're playing Oregon. Um, I don't care about that. I care about health and longevity and Penn State football. Okay, so first off, I think the real concern here is that oxidative stress is linked with autism in mothers. Oxidative stress. Well, what is oxidative stress? Well, if you really think about oxidative stress is a direct result of us making energy. Oxidative stress here, I'll put this in here. Oxidative stress in our bodies really are it's created from what we call reactive oxygen species. These reactive oxygen species are generated from our metabolism. Okay. They're byproducts, natural byproducts for our biological systems. And if you look at our oxidative stress relative to our metabolism, and here goes another crazy political debate, ketogenic diets, burning fat is way less stressful oxidatively. It generates less free radicals than eating glucose, than using glucose. Going through beta oxidation generates less reactive stress. Okay. That's just the way it is. Fat is a cleaner fuel to burn. Does that mean that everyone should just be eating and sucking out the bone marrow like a caveman? Probably not, because we know lifespan wise, plant based diets tend to generally do better for people. Okay. So now we understand that. Fat is a cleaner fuel than glucose. Number one, glucose and glucose metabolism generate more oxidative stress species. Well, then we got to take a look at um, the following, which is just this year, in 2025, the Lancet published a meta-analysis for 56 million mother-child pairs. It's insane. It's a lot of people. And during pregnancy, type 1 and type 2 diabetes were associated with a 25% higher risk of autism in the child. So first things first, you're pregnant, you need to be screened for diabetes. Full stop, increased risk of autism. If you manage it, it tends to do better. In addition, there was another systematic review and meta-analysis, 2025, that calculated the risk of maternal diabetes exposure and increased risk of the offspring developing autism. 48% increased risk with type 2 diabetes. Gestational diabetes had a 31% increased risk. So again, I told you before, oxidative stress is a problem. High glucose levels resulting in oxidative stress is a problem. Oxidative stress is likely the modality here where the smoke is swirling around the fire of autism and Tylenol. Okay, I'm not going to get into shoving UV up your butt or down your gut. I'm not going to get into methylene blue or ivermectin or any of those crazy things right now. And sometimes it's crazy, sometimes it's not. What I want to get into here is why we're having increased risks for autism and increased onset of autism in our children and the future generations. And oxidative stress appears to be, in my mind, likely one of those modalities. And so whether smoke, there could be fire, or there could be just a bunch of guys smoking dope down in Soho. And so in this case, I think it's very important to understand diabetes increases oxidative stress. Elevated sugar levels, gestational diabetes increases autism risk. Diabetes going into pregnancy increases oxidative risk. So there was also another large pooled analysis a few years ago on gestational diabetes and autism, and it was a 56% higher risk compared to non-diabetic pregnancies. I think we have some of our answers here. And so because of the risk of diabetes and autism and the risk of diabetes, glucose burning, and creating oxidative stress, here's my suggestion. I'm going to throw it out there. Test for oxidative stress. If you have high oxidative stress, don't take a lot of Tylenol. Don't take a lot of Tylenol. It's simple blood work. We do it in our medical practice all the time. We test for oxidative stress, oxidative damage to your proteins, oxidative damage to your RNA, oxidative damage to your DNA. If you're experiencing oxidative stress, you're going to age earlier. If you're experiencing oxidative stress and you're pregnant, you should not be taking Tylenol. I don't care what WHO says. I don't care what Trump says, President Trump. I don't care what anyone says. Dr. Murphy says you should check your oxidative stress when you're pregnant, or if you're thinking about pregnancy. You know, one of the things we do in our practice is pre-conception consultations. It's simple. Simple blood test, simple solution. Assess oxidative stress pre-pregnancy or early in pregnancy, just like you're assessing for diabetes risk. It's a simple blood test. It's easy to do. While everyone wants to fight about the politics of whether you should take Tylenol or not, here's my answer. If you have oxidative stress, skip Tylenol. There are lots of other things to take. All right, here I am. It's done, the 24th of September, 2025. Here is to a life well lived. All right. Oh, and let's go state.